Hollywood was a place, and it was also a community that established itself just near Jesmond during the Great Depression from the 20s to 30s. So this was a place where people created their own homes. A lot of people moved there with their families, and people lived there for many decades up until 1960. People settled at Hollywood for a number of reasons. The primary reason was economic. During the Great Depression, as you'd know, there were a lot of challenges experienced by people, and affording housing became really challenging for a lot of families. So families who'd lived in Newcastle for a long time found that they had to find new places to go. They couldn't afford their rent, or they couldn't afford their mortgage, and they had to find somewhere where they could safely live with their families, and Hollywood was one of those places. So there were a number of these informal villages that popped up around Newcastle from the Great Depression era. Hollywood is one of a number. There are others like Platt's Estate, Texas, which is in Carrington, as we know it today, Nobby's Camp, Nobby's Beach, and another camp up in Mayfield. Hollywood's population is unusual in the context of all of these settlements where people were making houses, in that it had a lot of families, it had a lot of children. So we know at probably its peak of population there are about 40 different houses in the Hollywood community, set up like, a little town along a road. And these houses would have, between 1 and sometimes 8 people living in them. The land that people moved to, where Hollywood is for a very long time a Wabagor land. And then with colonisation, it became part of what's known as Crown land, so managed by the New South Wales government. Crown land is often left undeveloped, so without things built on it, for a variety of reasons. And in the case of Hollywood, there had been, we've read, a long intention that a road might be built through that place. And that meant that the New South Wales government and the local government hadn't, developed that area and put houses or a township there. So it was mostly bushland when people moved out there. And that meant, when people moved there, that the land was New South Wales government Crown land. It wasn't an official suburb they were moving to. There's an element of illegal settlement here. And there was a lot of discussion. So if you read about Hollywood in the media of the time, people asked, what should we do with these people who are living on this land where we have other plans? The road plan would be what would eventually kind of lead people to be moved off the Hollywood site. So the government cleared the site from the late 1950s, although nothing was to be built on it for a very long time. But what actually led to this project here at the museum in many ways is that road plan kind of coming to fruition. So in the Rankin Park Bypass project, we actually see that land becoming a site for a road. So New South Wales Transport are our partners on the project. And when they started their construction project, they went and commissioned archaeologists to do a series of digs on the site. So they did excavations that were focused on the First Nations heritage of the site, and those artefacts go through, appropriate processes and keeping places. And they also excavated looking for the history of the Hollywood township from the 20s through the 60s. They found about 2,000 objects, and we've only got a small handful of them on display here at the museum. But that road, actually coming to life also meant that the history of Hollywood was preserved. The Newcastle Museum is looking at acquiring nearly 200 of the couple of thousand of objects that were found at the Hollywood site. When you do an archaeological excavation, you find things of varying significance. And this was a really interesting dig because some of the significant objects that have come to us that we're going to keep in our collection include objects that show what life was like for children, what it was like around the dinner table. We've got lots of, glasses and plates, what houses were constructed from, and what people had as part of, their daily life and wardrobe. So the exhibition is comprised of a few different parts. We've got dozens and dozens of archaeological salvage objects and some objects that were donated by people who grew up at Hollywood. So Audrey Jesmond, who lived at Hollywood as a small child, her dad, when she was a baby, made her a little pram, and it's a handmade gift for a very young child. Audrey hung on to that. She used it when she was a kid at Hollywood. Her children used it later when they were growing up. And then when we did the exhibition, she donated that pram to us. So that can be part of Hollywood's history in the museum going forward. And another really special part of developing this exhibition was getting to sit down with these people who grew up at Hollywood or whose families lived at Hollywood, and they told us their stories. So you'll see as part of the exhibition lots of video interviews with people where they share their own stories and memories of the place, and also lots of photographs. So Stephen Ward, whose mum Marjorie lived at Hollywood, Marjorie was a keen photographer and she took hundreds of photos, and Steve very, very kindly let us digitise a number of these photos, and they appear. So you get to see the people and the animals. We've got a little dog, a cat and a galah here who made Hollywood home. So the exhibition A Place Called Hollywood is on at Newcastle Museum now until the 2nd of February, so you can come and see it through the next couple of school holidays. It's free and it's in Newcastle Museum's A Newcastle Story Gallery because it is a Newcastle story.